The Struggle to Survive. Episode 1. Sophia woke up before dawn, her body aching from another night on the streets. She lay on a thin layer of cardboard, her makeshift bed in an abandoned alleyway. The chill of the night still lingered, and she could see her breath as she exhaled. At 18, Sophia had lost everything: her parents, her home, and her sense of security. As she sat up, her stomach growled, protesting the emptiness that had become all too familiar. Sophia's eyes scanned the alley, her gaze settling on a dumpster nearby. She knew it was a long shot, but she had learned to check every possible source for food. She stood up, her joints creaking in protest, and made her way to the dumpster. The smell was overwhelming, but Sophia's hunger drove her to dig through the trash. She found a half-eaten sandwich, the bread stale but the filling still edible. She devoured it in 2 bites, the taste bland but the satisfaction immense. With her hunger momentarily sated, Sophia began her daily search for work. She walked through the town, her eyes scanning the streets for any sign of a job. She had learned to be resourceful, to find work wherever she could. Today, she spotted a help-wanted sign in the window of a local market. She pushed open the door, a bell above it ringing out, and approached the owner, a gruff but kind man named Jack. "Hey kid, you looking for work?" Jack asked, eyeing her up and down. Sophia nodded, her eyes locked on his. "Yes sir, I'll do anything. Cleaning, sweeping, anything." Jack nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. "All right, kid. I'll give you a shot. $5 an hour, and you can start right away." Sophia's heart leapt with excitement. $5 an hour was a small fortune, enough to buy her a hot meal and a place to sleep for the night. She threw herself into the work, scrubbing floors and emptying trash cans with a vigor that surprised even herself. As the day wore on, Sophia's body ached, her muscles screaming for a break. But she pushed through, knowing that every hour she worked brought her closer to a better life. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Jack called her over, a small pile of cash in his hand. "Good job, kid," he said, pressing the money into her palm. "You're a hard worker. Come back tomorrow, and I'll give you another shift." Sophia beamed, her eyes shining with pride. She had done it. She had survived another day. But as she left the market, her euphoria was short-lived. The streets were unforgiving, and Sophia's appearance marked her as an outcast. People would glance at her with a mix of pity and disdain, as if she were a burden on society. Some would whisper to each other, pointing at her tattered clothes and unkempt hair. Sophia tried to ignore them, but their words stung like a fresh wound. As night fell, Sophia curled up in her alleyway, her eyes burning from fatigue and her heart heavy with sorrow. She felt like an invisible ghost, a shadow that haunted the streets. Tears pricked at the corners of her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. She had cried enough tears to last a lifetime. In this dark moment, Sophia wondered if anyone would ever see beyond her tattered exterior, beyond the label of orphan or street rat. Would anyone ever look into her eyes and see the spark of hope, the flame of resilience that burned within her? As she drifted off to sleep, Sophia held on to that spark, praying that tomorrow would bring a glimmer of light in the darkness. To be continued. Story by the Woven Word.